Yeah, today we're going to be looking at DENDI QoP in the mid lane. And yeah, he wins the mid lane pretty hard, getting first blood on this Death Prophet, doing a pretty good job of controlling the tempo. And overall, I think QoP is a pretty strong mid laner right now. She's been having success in the top tier of public matches. And because of that, I'm like, okay, who better than DENDI? My man spams QoP. He literally picks a ton of QoP, and therefore he's got to be pretty good, right? And yeah, we're going to be breaking down his gameplay because he definitely is quite good, and trying to figure out what actually makes him so potent on this Queen of Pain, especially being able to beat a hero like Death Prophet, who I generally see as one of the most sustainable laners in Dota. I look at Death Prophet and I'm like, yeah, you don't really lose any matchups. You kind of do fine no matter what because you have a nuke and you have a heal. It's just pretty self-explanatory. And on top of the content you're going to be seeing today, I recently talked about Necro. I played a Necro game where live I talked about all of my thoughts and really everything that came to mind. It was a very funny match as they basically gave up early on. But what I discussed was like how to crush the early game, how to really dominate your laning stage and not just go even. Because a lot of people think they're winning. They think they're doing okay. But at the end of the day, they're not really doing that well. So if you're interested in seeing that video, click the link down below to the gameleap website. It's over there. I've also made some other videos such as a live Legion game. I've even talked about Tidehunter recently, updating his course. We even have an updated Legion course now. And so there's so many things to check out on the gameleap website. Super cheap. A lot of time on our hands, I'm sure, right now because of the quarantine that I am also going through. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. And now let's get into the video. Yeah, let's get into the mid lane right away. So the first things first is whenever the creep wave meets, people will usually overextend, especially the lower and lower you get, the more people will block up until like here. Like literally, I will see people block when the creeps are this distance away. If you see that happen, please punch them. Guys, literally hit them, and you're gonna see DENDI even right away as the wave is about to meet because he can't pull creep dagger right away. He's gonna go for an auto attack and even a dagger here, right? So he's avoiding the creep damage, gets a free auto, well, not that free, but he gets an auto and a dagger, and he's gonna continue to trade. The reason for this is he wants to apply aggression while QoP is strong, and QoP is a hero that has 60 damage, 4 armor, and overall just good attack animation in the early game, meaning that you should basically go for this aggression. First things first, I think the main reason that he actually gets this first blood, other than the pure aggression that you're going to see from his right clicks throughout this laning stage, is the fact that he actually ships out 2 salves right off the bat. No joke, he ships out 2 salves, great range creep priority overall to make sure that he doesn't get himself denied, and you're going to notice, right, goes for the dagger, levels up the blink to deal with the Spirit Siphon, blinks away from the Spirit Siphon, and continues to look for autos. Actually not the best of trades. Right, you could argue that the trading that he's doing right now is very questionable. He's trading uphill into the DP, which makes this generally unfavorable. However, he wants to all in. Like, it's very clear, as you're going to see in a second here, he is convinced he needs to all in. Right, so pops his salve, puts his circle in his backpack, doesn't get it cancelled, and is going to look to apply aggression in a moment here. So as you're going to see, he has an opportunity to dagger here. Now, why doesn't he go for the dagger? Well, he's very close to level 2 dagger, right? Almost level 3 on his hero, and that makes the damage basically double on the spell. And because of that, he actually goes for the auto attack onto this range creep here to secure it, right? Goes for the dagger, gets in 1 more auto, and then is going to back off. Now, once again, this might seem like a terrible trade, and guys, I'm going to be real, like in terms of HP, this was pretty awful. However, a strategy like this, where you hardcore commit to your spells and basically run out of mana by the 2-minute mark, is going to guarantee you first blood as long as you don't like over commit in like 90% of your matches if you're 4k and below. I guarantee it. Even if you're 5k and below. Like, I'm super serious because now he backs off, right? The DP didn't buy a second salve because the DP just wants to actually buy some real items like most people do. But DENDI, my man, is committed, and because of it, right, once again, looking for an auto attack, gets the dagger, obviously kiting backwards, but here he's like, oh, this DP is hella low. Gets an auto attack from the low ground, right? Putting the auto attack on cooldown, if that makes any sense. Blinks up and is able to secure the kill. Like, pretty good. And then a lot of this simply comes from the fact that he bought 2 salves and used all of his mana. Guys, this is why I can't stand when I see you guys laning and you literally never cast spells. I don't care what hero it is, use your mana. Like 9 times out of 10, it's much better to just waste your spells and get used to using them correctly than to hold them and never improve on it. And then of course with the first blood, he's able to get a bottle previous to the 4-minute rune, and unfortunately he does get his rune taking this game, but at the end of the day, a great start for DENDI in a matchup that isn't necessarily that favorable. Upcoming here, I want to show you a value death. This is legit what I like to call the value death, and the reason why I call it this is like, man, my man does not care about dying. So DP steals his rune, He knew he couldn't blink on the rune because he couldn't necessarily burst the DP. She has a Spirit Siphon, which basically makes the favorable trade for DP. And because of this, he daggers and then blinks away. But like, my man Slaughter's like, hello! I mean, what a great rotation by the Slaughter in terms of positioning. But at the end of the day, does DENDI care about that stat? Maybe a little, but not really, because look, the DP, in terms of net worth, is still not even close to DENDI, right? Still a 250 gold deficit. And on top of that, this DP has absolutely zero resources now. Sure, she has a salve, but after she burns the salve, she's essentially going to have to buy another one, right? Because it's only going to get her up to about half HP. And if you know anything about QoP and half HP heroes, it's not a great combo. You're basically guaranteed to die, right? So DENDI's going to TP in here and immediately look to apply aggression. He has a full bottle. I even wish he used the bottle charge coming out of the spawn. I think that's a bit of a mistake, right? But he's able to kick the DP back to the base. Obviously a huge win, because now he's going to be able to build a complete level advantage. So the main thing I want to say about QoP when it comes to rotations is you guys should understand this concept first. If you're beating your mid laner, I generally recommend you continue to destroy them. I think that's the best thing you can do in terms of winning your team the game, unless you are guaranteed, like for sure, can kill and are certain you're going to get a double kill if you make a rotation. So unless you know that you're guaranteed to get some easy kills based off of rotation, you're much better off shutting down the person you've already beaten. The reason being for this is you're almost guaranteed to force rotations at that point, because if you guys know anything about mid laners, when they're getting destroyed, they just whine for help the entire match. On top of that, you're going to notice DENDI's team is getting kind of run over here. They're actually 1k net worth behind, even though he won mid quite handily, right? He's above by about 600 net worth at this point. And sometimes when that happens as QoP, your best bet is not necessarily go and throw yourself at dying bodies, but rather just to farm mid. Now in this situation here, let's pay attention to how he plays the fight. First things first, does he blink in? Does he blink in? Absolutely not. I swear, man, if you guys cast blink from here to here to get off a dagger that is not going to make you get this perfect ultimate off, I will kill you. I will actually kill you. Do not do that. Walk up, cast your dagger, and save your blink. Because now, imagine if he blinked in here. The Lycan will insta-kill him in this type of pub. If he blinks there, he's actually insta-dead. I guarantee it, right? But because he doesn't commit it, the Lycan's like, I don't know about this. I don't think I'm gonna go in. And he even saves his ultimate to use it as a threat to the Lycan, right? Not even casting it here right away. Understands that he can kind of just save it, play it by ear, slow it down a little bit, secures the kill onto the CM. Unfortunately, a little bit short on this ultimate here. The Prophet lives on literally like 3 HP, but overall a great fight. And the reason why it went well is because he didn't waste his blink. I'm super serious. Also, if you guys are playing QoP in the mid game, you kind of just want to pressure whoever you can in any lane and use your spells essentially off cooldown in the fight. Otherwise, you're not going to get the value out of QoP. Like, literally, if you're not using your Scream and Dagger off cooldown in a fight when you can, you just should really play a different hero. So here, he's going on a Nature's Prophet mid, has an Arcane Rune, and this might seem like a cycle play, and the answer is because it is. Now, he ends up going down here. It was a bit close. He probably could have popped his bottle here and there. I don't think he played it perfectly. Also didn't go to Strength Treads. But at the end of the day, what I would like to say is that I like this general play. Like, this might seem crazy to people, but I really like it. He's forcing a rotation on mid, and imagine if he goes bottom here, right? And to farm bottom, he's just griefing his troll game. If he goes top, that's like, alright. But if you can pressure someone and farm his QoP, that's the ultimate win. That's what you should be looking to do with an early advantage on QoP. And he doesn't have a major one, but he definitely is strong because that's how QoP works. Moving on from there, I just want to mention that QoP cannot be played as only a ganker. I highly recommend you guys try to do what he's doing, which is having around 70 CS by the 15-minute mark. A bit higher is even good as well. Like most heroes by 15, if you're like a flash farmer, want to have around 110 or 100, something like that. But if you're playing QoP, you can tone it down a little bit, obviously focusing on your rotations and focusing primarily on lane creeps and not obviously jungle creeps. But you're going to notice here, right, he doesn't mind killing a jungle camp here and there, right? He had nothing to do, so he's going to kill a camp. Then, when he sees something happen, because he's a QoP and he has a blink, he can easily show up, and that's what he tries to do on this Nature's Prophet here. Now, they don't get the kill, but the concept stands, where basically, right? Basically what he's doing is he's farming until an engagement starts. He's not looking to set things up because there is nothing ready, and you should have the same mentality. If there's no clear fight, push in the waves. Take the extra jungle camp. Don't run around like a chicken without its head and hope things happen. All right, upcoming here, we're going to be looking at a great fight by DENDI with a perfect ultimate. Really, this is kind of just more like a, what do you Twitch people call it? A pog? Something like that. But basically, they go in here and they all stack up, and this is generally what you're looking for as QoP. I mean, it's pretty clear at this point, but once again, you're not going to instantly blink. You notice how he doesn't, I'm not kidding. I watched 3K and 4K QoPs and they literally blink from here to here to ulti. It literally gives me anxiety because it's just so bad. So he ultis, right, without the blink and then blinks into screen. This is going to allow you to hit much better ultimates than I typically see players do. And of course from there, do right click as QoP. Like a lot of people forget to right click. Your hero's good at right clicking, just keep that in mind. Like I legitimately think people forget that because it's like, oh, I'm playing QoP and I have 2 nukes. Well, actually 3 nukes, so I'm not gonna right click, am I? No, you really want to, especially if you end up taking the damage talent. He doesn't in this game because I think he wants to be sustainable and he has a lot of DPS heroes on his team. But for the most part, make sure you don't forget to right click. Alright, so upcoming here, we're going to see an expertly played engagement by DENDI on the QoP. We're going to see a lot of the same concepts that I kind of said in the last fight. I just want to make sure that you guys get them down because this is number 1. So first things first, he knows that this is an opportunity to blink in. He's allowed to blink in, I should say, because he sees them bottom. Otherwise, don't blink on something like a CM. You're just going to get yourself killed, right? So then a fight is breaking out. The enemy team is looking to punish the mid. They think it's an opportunity to fight. So DENDI, seeing this, is not going to run in the front. He's going to stay in the back and allow them to line up here, right? So the enemy team walks in, gets a good ultimate, right? Onto basically everything, killing off a lot of the Lycan units as well. Shadow Strike on all of them, but then has to disengage, right? So his BKB was ending. On top of that, he's going to get amped next to a Prophet, a Lycan, and a DP, which is just really not a good combo. Then with a good use, he's able to cut out the Slaughter, always moving back until he notices that the enemy team is separated, right? And this is what you want to look for as QoP because you're very good at isolating heroes with your Orchid and with your 65% slow, which is a buff on your dagger. And that's what they find here, right? So they find the Slaughter and they're going to auto attack him to death. Then he's going to move in onto the next target, obviously going to lead with the dagger when possible. She BKBs, but he doesn't tunnel vision and secures the kill onto the Nature's Prophet. And then finally, he didn't actually instant auto attack the Prophet because he thought there was a chance he could die, which I would agree with. This is a bit scary. Fortunately, her ultimate is ending. They don't chase though because they don't want to go into a no vision area and they had to deal with the split pushing Lycan. Now briefly, I kind of skipped it for the entire video, so I want to go back to it briefly. First things first, in terms of his skill build, what he went was he maxed out the Shadow Strike first. However, he actually left it at 3 points and then maxed out the Scream of Pain, leaving the Blink at level 1. This is just a good build. Sort of maximize your damage in the early game. The only thing you have to learn is how to be careful with the Blink, which is what I told you guys about earlier. In terms of talents, you know, this is a game where they definitely can threaten the QoP in terms of killing her. So he goes to 10 strength, then into the 40 attack speed, which I think is definitely a bit weird, but 12% cooldown reduction isn't too impactful for a 7-second cooldown Scream and a 4-second cooldown Shadow Strike as well as a 6-second cooldown Blink. It's okay for the ultimate, but not too great. For level 20, I definitely recommend the AoE Shadow Strike. It lets you clear waves, which is a big weakness of QoP throughout the game. It's very clunky to clear waves as you kind of need 2 Screams, so this solves a lot of your issues there. And finally, at level 25, basically you're going to always take the Fear. It will keep you alive, allow you to initiate. It's just a really strong talent. And in terms of items, what he went was a couple Knolls, right? On top of that, he has Treads, which is very important. Then, because it's a difficult QoP game, right, they have the Silence, the Amp, the Bashes, the, Troll Summoner from the Lycan, potentially an Orchid from Prophet. Potentially, he didn't go with this game, but he could. And yeah, so he went for the Yules into the BKB because, as I said, hard QoP game. Then, he went back for the Orchid to help deal with his damage. They have a lot of physical damage, so then he went for the Shivas into the Lycans to help deal with things like the Frostbite and the future Orchid from the Lycan, as well as the Sheepstick from the Prophet. And yeah, that's how he itemized. And now, because of some good team fighting, eventually the Troll was able to majorly come online, as well as the Pangolier, and because of this, they're able to storm down mid and end this game shortly. They got a lot of pickoffs in a row with their very heavy pickoff base team comp lineup, right? They have the Beastmaster, the Tiny, even Pango, and especially the QoP allow them to play the side lanes, and with the Yules, they were able to pick up a couple of kills and end off this game. But thank you guys for watching this guide on DENDI QoP. Hopefully you learned a lot. If you did, please like and subscribe as we're going to watch him not overcommit his Blink as per usual, right? Always saving it until he needs to reposition, right? Using it here so that he can potentially deal with the DP. Just a beautiful overall showing from DENDI. I mean, he's a great guy. We all love him, right? So if you like DENDI, like and subscribe to help our channel grow and to show your support. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. And hey guys, remember, before you end this video, in the link down below, I've been playing a lot of live games where I talk about my thoughts in real time in the middle of a Dota match. So if you want to get in the head of a pro player, click the link down below to the gameleap website. Super cheap right now, right? And I'm doing this a ton. We all have time on our hands. I have time to make content. You guys probably have time to enjoy and learn Dota, get better at the game. So yeah, if that combo works for you, click the link down below, and I'll see you there.